Hi, so for this response, I chose to look at the sampling chapter in John Sumser's book, A Guide to Empirical Research in Communication. The reason I chose to look further into this chapter is because after doing my article review, I had an article that the research done lacked a lot of important qualities that I think are important for any research being done. The area that concerned me the most was my sample size. In my given article, the sample used had 14 females and 1 male for the sample. Now, within that article, they also said that that was accurate with the census of the other employees around the country. However, it really concerned me and made me start thinking more about sampling. So within this chapter, they talk about sampling and how to ensure representativeness. The two ways that they said that you could ensure representativeness is from either doing matching your population, the people with the population, or doing random sampling. And I find that there are positives and negatives to both of these options, but within these options, I think it's really hard to find a complete representation, which is always going to be a critique of any research being done. I guess I might be a little bit more cynical in the way that I look at research, but it's easier for me to find the negatives in research rather than the positives. But for sampling, I think it's extremely hard to find a representative portion of your population. They talk about random sampling where everybody has an equal chance of being put into for the research. They also talk about matching your sample with the population. For me, I feel that the sample size is one of the most important areas of any research being done. I think that the sample size itself can either really make or break any research or any study that is going on, and it's really important that people place an emphasis on it. And I think it's one of the areas that a lot of people forget about sometimes. Also in this chapter, they talk about sample size, and that's another issue that a lot of people have because you don't want too little to where you don't have enough information or enough variety of information, but at the same time, there gets to a point where if you have too many people, it's just kind of repetitive and it doesn't really help your research that's being done. So overall, sampling is extremely important, and Sumser goes over the different ways that you can sample or get samples for your research, and he focuses a lot on the sampling in this chapter. So for any of you who are looking to do research in the future, looking at this chapter can really help make a research study be effective or not effective, essentially.